Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Saturday, April 16th, 2022. Happy Easter weekend. Hopefully everyone had an amazing Good Friday. I know we did. Well, kind of. VIPs 2-1. Should have followed Scotty's lead on the under versus. I saw a big 25 cent move on the Rays run line, and we went there in the first five and wasn't there. It was actually a full game that covered. But then we come across with two nice wins. We come back with the Rockies, and they take care of business. Then we squeak out another one for a 2-1 day where Scotty goes 4-0, 3-0. On our Discord channel, which is free until Sunday at midnight. After that, it'll be $10 a month. Or for the VIP experience, our plays sent to your cell phone via text and emailed, plus the Discord channel, plus obviously all the stuff on social media is free for $59.99 or $2 a day, which you hit your credit card every 30 days. But we are building something special. I gotta say hats off to Kiefer Engels. If you don't know him, please go follow him on Twitter and social media. He has joined the ECSI team. Yesterday was an off day technically for him. He goes, I'm going to take a clip from yesterday's show's meeting Thursday, and I'm just going to throw it on the social media. And that was with our buddy Colton Soroka of Talking the Line and of course TTL Sports. And he was talking about, excuse me, I lost my train of thought. He was talking about Garrett Cole and Spider Tech. Does he have, is there a difference? And maybe Scotty at some point will break that down in a blog or an article, the difference pre-Spider Tech to where Garrett Cole is now. But it happened, Vladdy hit 3 homers that night, and they weren't all against Cole. But what was funny was Kiefer took a clip from that segment of the show, and he posted it on TikTok. Well, Colton was talking about Vladdy getting jammed and just having the strength and the speed to take it out to right field. Garrett Cole tipped his hat. Well, what this was showing was Vladdy getting jammed and pulling it to left field. So what started out as a slow TikTok, something happened to the algorithm between 11 and 12, and we got 65,000 views and almost 5,000 likes. So hats off to Colton, hats off to Kiefer. And I was in there for a while trying to say, hey, maybe it was this, maybe it was this. And then Kiefer just says to me, Jeff, I had the wrong home run clip up there. So all ends well there. I had one other thing. I am wearing my Marlins camouflage Jose Fernandez shirt. Rest in peace, my brother. What an arm he had, and what a force he was going to be. I guess there were comparisons to Baby Pedro there. The kid was electric. He was just, when he got on the mound, he was must-watch TV, and just enjoyed watching him pitch. And unfortunately, got into a little boating accident. Shouldn't have been driving, obviously, and the rest was history there. But we got a full day here. Yes, my free pick lost. We were on the Clippers plus 1.5. An amazing story. Down 10 at half, up 10 after 3. They outscored them by 20. And then they just ran out of gas. They lost by 4. And Morris missed the three-pointer at the buzzer for the cover or the push. So I will close the segment with another freebie. I'm feeling froggy. And again, I'm not a big fan of them, but they are what they are. So with all that said, let's bring him in from the Palm Tree State himself, the one, the only Mr. Scott E. Webb. Morning, Scotty.
Morning, Jeff. It feels like Sunday because we had Friday was a good Friday and felt like a Saturday. So I'm all confused this morning and all that stuff. So, I took those Joe Rogan pills this morning. Shake that stuff out of my head.
We've been going at it for a couple hours on Discord. Hats off to everyone that woke up with us on the Discord channel. Again, I said it's free till Sunday at midnight at 12:01. Don't say the dog ate the remote or whatever. It's $10. I would suggest it's just joining the VIP service for $2 a day. Like I said, go check in your couch, lift up those cushions. I guarantee you there's $2 worth of change there. You can do that on a daily basis. Go in your car, go to your penny jar, your quarter jar, whatever. There's a million apps that the millennials use now. I bet you somewhere in them you could afford $2 a day somewhere, but that's for another story. Scotty, great day. Hats off. Numbers spot on. MLB, it was kind of one of those days where I looked a couple dogs, but it wasn't one of those Fridays that your eyes light up. We had one of those a couple days ago where actually last Sunday, where there was like 6, 7, 8 monster dogs that came barking in. So today, new day, but overall, what'd you see last night?
Last night I played. I think it was a day game. I was on the Mets. Played them full game. Played them on the run line yesterday, and that was Bassett minus 114. And for those of you who have not heard me talk about Bassett, I think that was the best move that the Mets made in the offseason. So anyway, that being said, that play worked out pretty well. And that play is not on the Mets, by the way. These are play is a continuation of beating up Arizona. So and that's going to be every day until Arizona starts hitting the ball. It's just you just got to keep doing it and figure out how to get in the game. That's all. I played the Tampa Bay and the Chicago game under in the first 5, and they stayed under. I think there was only 3 runs scored in the first 5 innings, so that was a winner. I played on the show. I released the Angels yesterday, and of course they go out and score a couple runs, and then they get bombed, and they get behind, and then all of a sudden I knew what was happening in that game. It was the Texas bullpen against the Angels, and I'll just take the Angels every time, even though the Angels got behind, and even though they walked a damn guy with the bases loaded intentionally. They still won the game.
That was not to cut you off there, but I've been focusing on a lot of first 5s, the same as you. That, as I said in the Discord channel last night, what a roller coaster ride that was. The Rangers scored 5 in the bottom of the 4th, and you talked about a bases loaded walk to score a run to Corey Seager. I think there was a balk in there that got another run in, and so anyone that had the Rangers first five was already taking their victory lap, obviously, and anyone with the Angels first five was just ripping up the ticket. Well, in come the Angels, who scored five themselves in the top of the fifth to take that 7-6 lead. So it was crazy, and we talked about it. You talked about it. The roller coaster rides in baseball. There's nothing better.
Oh, it's crazy. You just the only thing you can do is handicap the game and then hang on for the ride. But enjoy the ride, because if you don't enjoy the ride, this will wear you out, because this happens every single day. It is every single day. And if you let if you were, I don't know, if you played the money line yesterday for whatever reason, and you were on the New York Yankees yesterday, and they bring in Aroldis Chapman and he walks in the winning run, well, you'd be going absolutely bananas. But that's what happens every single day. It doesn't matter if the guy was Aroldis Chapman yesterday or if it was, I don't know, Liam Hendricks today. It's going to happen, and it happens all the time. So just relax, have a good time, enjoy the games, and enjoy the ride, because it's interesting. I can tell you that. And in the last game that I was on the Dodgers last night. On the full game on the run line, and hit all four of those games. And I don't play the run line that often, but I'm trying to figure out how to get in these games, and based on what I'm seeing in certain matchups, I'm playing them, and I'm playing them again today. So it is what it is. I think you just gotta you really got to get creative sometimes and figure out what to do here. But anyway, yes, it was great. The other thing that I think is one of the things I'm seeing is one thing I didn't comment in the Discord channel, and I was going to, but I figured I was in there too much yesterday. But this is Toronto's home opening series, right? So the Oakland A's traveled there, and for those of you who are 100% not familiar with what I'm talking about, it's news, and for some of you, it's probably not news, but the country in Canada, if you go there, you have to show that you have COVID. You've been immune. You've got the shot. If you don't have the shot, you can't play. So there's a home field edge certainly going to be for Toronto. I don't know how big it's going to be. It might be huge if the Yankees go there and Judge don't play or something. But Oakland has a couple of relief pitchers on that list that didn't make the trip. So you'll see as these teams travel to Toronto that players, AJ Puck is the biggest name for the A's that did not go. So they got three other guys they called up from the minor leagues or whatever to fill those roles, but that's a definite disadvantage for these teams. And then secondly, I will tell you that some of this stuff is not so good. I don't like to see Buxton get hurt. And that was a player that was taken out of the first inning yesterday after he was stretched his hit into a double. Some of this stuff is he's just such a good player. And if he could stay on the field, he's an MVP kind of player. I think Casey Mize is out for 10 days now with an arm problem. And anytime you got a young pitcher with an arm problem, that could lead to all kind of stuff. And I just hate to see these guys having those issues. So you just got to keep up with it, because Yordan Alvarez isn't going to play now for 10 days because he's on COVID or whatever. I didn't know we were going through this big COVID problem again, but here we go. I mean, we got guys going out on COVID. So just look at the NBA last night, and Luka Doncic's not playing today. So there you go.
Yeah, I had said that on the timeline. I was talking to Matt from the Bostonian versus the book, Matt Peralt. If you're not following, please do. Great guy. Boston guy that has been out in Vegas now, teaches at UNLV. Was with Pushing the Odds, now works with our friend Dave Sharapan. So great show that they have, I think at 1 o'clock our time back east. about it. And it looks like COVID again is starting to creep back into our world. And you talked about Alvarez. You talk about Paul George. Luca is an injury. And again, we'll get to that NBA game. That line moved like 3.5, 4 points. Tough. Here I was playing contrarian on the free play with the Clippers last night. After 3 quarters, I look like a genius. And the fact is, the NBA, I think the unders are 5-1, and the favorites are 6-0, 5-1 straight up, or something crazy like that. So we're into the first round of the playoffs. I suggest this. I do. You don't have to follow it. Instead of getting caught up into the rat race of every game, which I know that is, and I know a lot of people have a hard time tying up their money, even if it's for 5, 7 days, 10 days in a series. Play the series. But the first round, there's not many series you can play. I know I saw Philly, Toronto. Philly might have been like 180 and Toronto plus 150. And there was another one that was playable. The other ones are way too much. I talked to Dave Sharapan about this at length, and I'm just going to say it now. Your book, it all depends on your book and the Celtics and the Nets. And that's Sunday. Myself and Scott on Easter Sunday will be here to get you guys going when you're eating your Cadbury eggs and your Peeps and all that other, your jelly beans. We'll be talking sports here. But some people have the Celtics minus 145. Some have the Nets 145. Celtics minus 4 the first game. That's the last number I saw. But my point was, if you like the Nets to win the series, but you like the Celtics to win game 1, don't bet the first game. Instead of getting the Nets at X, you're saying, I think the Celtics will make a statement game 1. I still like the Nets in the long term. Then you're going to get a plus 200 price or more on the Nets after they go down 0-1. Or some of these big favorites in these series, if they go out and lose outright in the first game, you can now go back down 1 game, but you still think they're going to win and get them at a more favorable price. So the books and the social media, the books allow you to do that. Where back in the old day, there was no, never mind in game, there was no adjusted odds after 1 game, and they do it now, Scotty, every game.
Yeah, it's I like to do that in the baseball series. Is and you know what? One of the things that I think is a missed opportunity is the series pricing in the series that you can bet during the season, as opposed to let alone just the series prices that you get in the playoff time in baseball. But it does give you hedging leverage, and it gives you leverage all the way around. I mean, anytime you have a future bet like that, you can do a lot of different maneuverabilities that you couldn't when you don't have one. So, but sometimes it works opposite. Sometimes you're in big trouble and you want to try to get out of it. So you got to figure out, how do I bet the other way to capitalize? But anyway, it's I agree that I think that series betting a lot of times is the right way to go, and especially on some of these series that you don't know have the answer to, because the odds tell you things after the first game. And I will also say that I shouldn't say it in such dramatic terms, but these NBA games and this season, it doesn't seem to me that the home court edge has been super big. So when you're talking about these teams in the series and being at home, I get it that you get the crowd and you get the energy and you get the other stuff and you're more familiar with the arena. But these guys are just good players, and I don't know that this home court thing is a huge edge in the NBA finals playoffs like it used to be. You know, it used to be that you could just go out there and say, okay, who plays more home games than the other one, and that's who's going to go on. But you know, if it were to truly be that these home court edges were so big, they would have fought their butt off to get better seedings, and they didn't. So I look at it that way.
And breaking news, and I'm saying this sarcastically, there is football today. I
Yeah.
have no information, and I refuse to, at this point, have any information. Follow your favorite uh, person on social media that does. But the New Jersey Generals are at Birmingham Stallions, and this is a 7:30 kickoff, and it's the United States Football League. Currently, the Stallions are 3-point favorites and an under over of 40.5. Now, when I think of the New Jersey Generals, and I could be so wrong on this, but I think I remember Doug Flutie and I want to say Herschel Walker way, 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 way back were the two staples there, correct?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember Doug Flutie. I do remember Herschel Walker there. I know Doug Flutie played, but I thought he played in the closer to Boston area,
Okay.
whatever team that was. But I
Is-
will say this: I'm so disappointed in this USFL stuff, and maybe it's the other players that are available that can play in this stuff. Well, if this is like. Um, I don't even know if this is going to be of quality of arena football league play. These guys that are going to be playing in these games. Most of them have never even been heard of before. The draft and stuff that they went through and all that stuff. There was no big names selected. There was no superstar kind of guys that are out there, and I get it that they're not going to be paying them that much money. So. But at the same time, everybody wants to find out if Colin Kaepernick can play. Well, hell, here's your shot, buddy.
All right, big board today. NBA, MLB, NHL. I'm going to get us on to, let's go. We'll stick with wagertalk.com/free odds. Anyone that wants to follow along, it's free. I call it one-stop shopping. It's probably one of the better sites out there right now that it gives you an opportunity to see everything in front of you. With betting odds, with first halves, team totals, you name it, it's all there. But the board is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I'll start in the NBA just because I'll just get that out of the way because who knows how long I talk about for baseball. But I'm having a hard time in the NBA today because the favorites all covered yesterday, and my numbers are all showing underdog value. So I'm looking at like the Memphis game. The number's like what is it, 6.5 or something. My number says 5. So I have a hard time with saying, okay, I need to be on Memphis. I think Memphis is the better team. I think the Memphis is going to win this game. I think Memphis is going to cover this game. My problem with this game is coming up and going, my numbers don't tell me that. Now, I will say that my numbers aren't always great in the NBA. They're pretty close a lot of times, and they've led me to the right side on a lot of things. But following yesterday's trend and following the way things are going, I almost think it's for me. I'm gonna pass on that game today, and that was the one that the one that I feel most comfortable with is taking Toronto Raptors today. I feel more comfortable taking them. My number says was it 3.5, and I think what's the number 5 or 4, 4.5.
Open to 5, down to 4.5.
Yeah, I'll take the 4.5 points with Toronto there. They've been playing so good, and down the stretch, they've been scoring lots of points. These are good matchups too, in terms of pace of play. Nobody has a huge edge on what they want to do over what the other one does. So the matchup wises are good too. And the other one I thought was probably a little bit high. I think Golden State's probably a little bit high, but my biggest one in the NBA would be Toronto.
Yeah, I'll go back to the Clipper game yesterday. I mean, the one that really sticks out initially to me, obviously, is Dallas opened up 3-point favorites with Luka. There is no Luka, yet now Utah is 5.5. You don't see 8.5-point swings like this. So Vegas is kind of sort of making a statement like they did yesterday, with oh my goodness,
Paul George being out.
yeah, with Paul George and the Clipper game. So I'm staying away. I mean, I think the whole world will be on Utah. I would lean Dallas plus the 5.5. You might get it at 6 by tip off, but I'm staying away there. When you look, the numbers are flying in, and you look at these game totals here today. Uh, uh, Utah Dallas again opened at 217.5 with Luca. Look what they did. They dropped the total 9 points to 208.5. Toronto 216 or 216.5 with Philly. Denver, Golden State 225 overnight, 223. And why I skipped over Minnesota, Memphis 236.5. Again, another outlier where I think Vegas is begging for the under there. It probably goes over. But again, I'm not seeing much in the NBA. I too would have to lean Toronto, which probably means Philly wins by double digits. But just for the eye test alone, what really grabs me would be a Minnesota Memphis over 236, 236.5. It's climbing. So keep an eye on that one. So that's it for me in the NBA.
All right, let me close my NBA spreadsheet out of here and let me go to my baseball stuff. Okay, so in continuation, I just feel bad for this Arizona team. I mean, they can't hit. They're still not hitting, and the numbers as of right now for the last 7 days, and that's how I grade offense is 7 days. So as this season progresses, I don't look at the whole season, guys. It's just segments of time, and for offense, it's every 7 days. And the reason for that is because offense goes on and off, and I want to capture the on and off. Arizona has 23 hits, Jeff, in those first 7 days. And they are the absolute worst team in baseball with 23 hits. So I'm going to keep riding against that. They have Zach Gallen who pitches today, and he's I would say, in terms of stuff, he's probably the best pitcher they got. Now, Merrill Kelly's been pitching a lot better lately, and Bumgarner is still on that team, so he's a wily old veteran bulldog kind of guy. But stuff-wise, Zach Gallen's probably the best. Now, having said that, this is his first start where other guys have gone too, and then they'll be making their third start in the next day or two. So the reason is that this guy, we made fun of him last night in the Discord channel. He actually hurt his finger dealing with a water sprinkler in his house. So he had a cut on his finger, but so that's all you need is a guy like that coming out here. And I'm sure they wouldn't let him pitch if he wasn't healthy, but the same thing applies here is that they're not hitting and the Mets are killing the ball. So give me the Mets. I don't really like Carrasco in this spot, but I'm not betting on Carrasco. I'm betting against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So today I don't want to play. I don't want to play the money line because the money line is too high. I think the money line's what is it? It's like 155. That's too much for me. So I am going to play this game full game again because I'm not afraid of Arizona's bullpen. I'm going to play it full game, and I'm going to play the -1.5 again. But today at the -1.5 number, you get plus 131. So again, this is a 100% play against Arizona Diamondbacks offense, and this will continue until they decide to hit the ball. So that's play number one. Play number two, I'm going to go at 3:00 here, and this is Oakland is playing at Toronto. And we got a flip flop on pitchers today. So, and I'll tell you what that means in a second. You got Blackburn against Ryu, and Blackburn he pitched the last time out against Tampa Bay, and his game score was a 70. Now a 70 is super high, and I had to go back and look because I know he's a veteran guy, and he's kind of a tweener guy. I mean he started some games, but he's a long middle relief kind of guy. He's a guy that's on the verge of being a starter, but he's not really a starter. He's that kind of guy. But he's been around the league for 5 or 6 years. And that start last time out was the second best start he's ever had in his whole career, ever. So that means you don't expect him to have that kind of repeat performance today. And if you're not going to have that kind of repeat performance today, and you're going to face a team like Toronto that can knock the ball all over the place, give me Toronto. And then you got to figure out, okay, well, who's pitching for Toronto? Well, Ryu's pitching for Toronto. And then Ryu, I don't think pitched, but maybe a couple innings the last time out. He didn't look very good. And when you go back and look at his history, that happens with him. He's either on and you can't hit him, or he's off and he gets smashed. Well, Ryu's best pitch is a changeup. That's his best pitch. And guess what Oakland's worst pitch to hit is? It's a changeup. And not only is it that they're the worst to hit a changeup, they rank number 30 in Major League Baseball against the changeup. Oh, there's only 30 teams. So that means they're dead last hitting against that pitch. So give me Ryu and give me the changeup against Blackburn and his great start that he had the last time out. And I'm going to play that one first 5 at -130. And -130 is about all the higher I'm going to go on these first 5 numbers. But I think there's a pretty good spot here and a pretty good edge for Toronto. So I'm going to play them there. I think they jump on them pretty quick, and I think they get ahead, and I think they stay ahead because Ryu's going to pitch pretty well. Then I got 2 more, and the last 2 is one that maybe I'm going to be a little bit burned on here, but I'm going to go back again, and I'm playing the Angels again, and I'm playing Syndergaard today. Now, this is a play basically on Syndergaard. But it's also a play slightly against Hearn. Now, Hearn has pitched against the Angels a couple of times. The Angels hit him pretty well, but it's not the right guys. It's not Rodon. It's not Trout. It's not the right guy. It's not Ohtani. But he's not a hard thrower either. So I like the idea that the Angels are one of the better teams in offense for the last 7 days. So I'm going to, and not that Texas isn't, but now they got Syndergaard on the mound, and I think Syndergaard threw really, really well the last time out that he pitched. But I also think he didn't get that many strikeouts. So he's learning how to pitch. And if he's learned how to pitch with the stuff that he's got, I think he can be pretty dominant today. And again, I'm not worried about Texas's bullpen, and they got pretty used up yesterday. So that means they're pretty depleted in the bullpen. So I'm going to take the Angels today. Full game was -118. Is it still -118 or something like that?
Your Angels 118 at Circa, Westgate 117 at South Point, and 118 at Caesars.
Yep. So I'm taking that one. And the last one that I'm going to do is the same thing that I did last night with the Dodgers. I'm playing with the Dodgers again against the Reds. The Reds are a team that are struggling on offense. They're not getting many hits. And today they face a curveball pitcher. Urias' best pitch is curveball. Cincinnati's worst pitch to hit, curveball. And not only are they the worst ones for them to hit, again, just like Oakland, they are number 30 out of 30 teams against the curveball. And of all teams that have a bullpen that can help you hold a lead, it's the Dodgers. So yes, the Dodgers are going to face somebody they've never seen before, and that's a little bit scary in the sense that you got to win by 2. Hunter Green is on the mound today for Cincinnati. And if you haven't seen this kid pitch, guys, and you have access to the game tonight, watch him. He's a starting pitcher, throws 100 miles an hour. So. But these are veteran hitters. These are good hitters. This is the Dodgers. This is the Dodgers at home. I wouldn't be surprised if they won this game 3-0 or 2-1 or something like that. But it also wouldn't surprise me to see him go out there and go score 7-8 runs either, because the kid gets in trouble, he gets some walks, and all of a sudden he's got to be removed out of the game, and then you put in the Reds bullpen. So I like the idea here that I can get them on the run line. It's not a big, not a big number. It's minus 118. I'll take that. So those are the picks. I have a rough time trying to come up with under. I was going to try to figure out if I could play Tampa Bay today, because I don't think Kopech's, he pitched great the last time out. Doesn't mean he's going to pitch great this time out. And I just, Kluber's got a history against the White Sox, so I don't like that real well. He can't handle the big first baseman there. He just dominates Kluber. So I'm going to stay away from that one. The only other one that I put on the sheet that I didn't play was the Yankees today. I figured the Yankees are going to be in pretty good shape, but when I went back and looked at how their matchups go, that they can't hit this team. And the Wells, who's pitching today, not that they've had much experience against him, but I think it's been like 25 at-bats. I only got 2 hits and 25 at-bats against that damn Baltimore pitcher. And then I was like, well, this is a guy that's not going to pitch the whole game. So who's the long relief guy? And you look at Keegan Aiken, he's probably going to be the guy that comes in and pitches. Well, shit, they can't hit him either. So I'm like, shit, I'm going to stay away from that.
The old Jedi mind tricks, yeah, because everyone that was on the Yankees yesterday, obviously, are going to bounce back today on them. So good stuff as always, Scotty. You can find all his information at Webby20MLB on the Twitter. Again, for the
or in the Discord.
I was just going there for the 38,000th time. If you like what you're hearing and not a member of the free Discord channel, to midnight tomorrow, give Scotty a DM. Give me a DM. That's all we need is your email address. Scotty will send you a link, a welcome letter, and the rest is history. Otherwise, Sunday, 12:01 midnight. Well, 12:01, which means Monday morning. It will be $10 a month. MLB for me, the eye test. Guys, grab a pen and paper. 903, 904, rotation number, Atlanta at San Diego. Me and Scott talked for a while after Nick Martinez's last start. If I remember correctly, came over from Japan, and he pitched well in his first start for the Padres. Ian Anderson for Atlanta. And if I heard correctly, this will be your ESPN game on Sunday night after your ham dinner or whatever you have on Easter. But Atlanta opened 125, now a basic 105 at Circa, minus 108 at Westgate. Again, I always respect and trust the opening line, so would lean Atlanta full game there. Rotation number 905, 906. Phillies at Miami. Suarez versus Rogers. I'm a big fan of Rogers. I like Rogers. I like his stuff. I also see that the Phillies opened up minus 120. Now Miami minus 113. You can grab the Phillies plus 103. Anyone that's nervous of the Phillies back end that wants a piece of the Phillies, you can jump on them at plus money for the first 5. If you grab them plus the half run, it's going to be a little steep there. So again, lean Phillies here. If you do not like bullpen, grab the first 5. If you want to respect and trust the opening number, play them full game. I looked at St. Louis, Milwaukee, Scotty, rotation number 909, 910. Matz and Hauser, not fans of either one of them. I think St. Louis is overdue, kind of back to – actually, hold on. What was the final score last night over there?
That was St. Louis 10 and Milwaukee 1.
Yeah, okay, because it's going to be – this team, St. Louis, is going to be a real thorn for people because you're not going to be able to sweep them. You're not going to be able to keep their bats down for 3 games. It looked like Milwaukee had turned the page, and then the onslaught happened. So I'm not a fan of either side on that one.
Hey, let me just say this while you're talking about St. Louis. Everybody keeps talking about Toronto, and they keep talking about Vladimir Guerrero and how great he's off to because he's hit 5 home runs. Nolan Arenado has 4, and he's batting almost 400. So this offense is really good for St. Louis.
Yeah, they put up 10, and Dylan Carlson didn't even show up. Thanks, Dylan. Anyways, we used the bounce back theory. We had Colorado 2 nights ago. We came back to the well down 3-0 last night, but they rallied the troops. An interesting nugget Colton brought up on Thursday when the under overs are 11 and a half or under in Colorado, they tend to come running under. When they're 12 or more, they tend to go flying over. Well, they're at 12 today. I'm not in on any part of that game. Be interesting to see where that one lands there. Scotty talked about Cincinnati, LA. If anything, I would be leaning LA first five minus the hook. For myself, I get a little gun shy when I do home teams minus the run and a half because I'm forfeiting my ninth inning unless you get the walk-off 2-run, 3-run, or grand slam, which I'm usually not fortunate enough to do there. So if you wanted to dive into that game, it would be Dodgers minus the hook there. But Scotty talked about Green and interested to watch him later tonight at 10:10. Kluber Kovac, no thanks. Oakland, Toronto, no thanks. Sox 410, 919, 920 on the rotation. Gray versus Hauk. Now, the actual value play is Gray plus the 110. I'm a big Hauk fan. I'm a real big Hauk fan. I do remember the Sox get swept their home opener last year against the Orioles, so they lost game one. I'm not really nervous about this one. I'm staying away. I'm just going to watch it. Again, the values with Gray. That's all I'm going to say there. But value is only value when you cash your ticket. Please remember that. Detroit, Kansas City. Thanks, but no thanks. All right, Scotty talked about this one. We talked about it on the Discord channel, and a shout out to Mr. John Holmes as well. We were talking about, we thought the number would go the other way, and it hasn't. Respect the opening number, trust the opening number. Rotation number 923, 924, Syndergaard versus Hearn. Opened at 145, now 118, and it's really trending down. I think a lot of people are expecting Texas to bounce back, get those bats. I would lean Syndergaard first five here. I would stay away from the Angel bullpen and try to steal me some first five money there with Syndergaard. You can get it dirt cheap there. Scotty talked about Yankees and Baltimore. Again, opened at 210, now 179. I'm staying away. I think the public play today will be tally on minus a half run first five there. I talked about this. Houston, Seattle rotation number 927, 928. Seattle 11-1 win yesterday. Now, the last two games, the Astros, I think, have scored a total of 1 run. They got Verlander on the hill, who pitched very, very well. For me, my initial thought, again, respect and trust the opening number of 185. And the under-over is only 7.5. So I wouldn't dive into a first five minus 141, 142. I would look at the run line, and I'm just trying to see something here. Minus the half, and you should be right around plus money. Oh, bear with me, guys. I didn't want to, because sometimes this screws up here.
It's plus 100 at Circa.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Scotty. So I would go there if you want to get into Houston today. I would go into the minus half plus 100 there. And here's another one. Maybe Scotty has a little more insight here. San Fran has been good to us. That was our other win yesterday, first five. Descafani versus Quantrill. San Fran opened 130. Now Quantrill is minus 109. A Guardians team that was putting up touchdowns every game. San Fran comes in flexing its muscles a little. Again, trust and respect the opening number there, yet Cleveland is now the favorite. So you could get San Fran short money on the first five, or if you trust their back end, you can go full game there. Scotty, any opinions on Descafani and Quantrill?
I like Quantrill a lot. I think that he's a pitcher that most people don't know about. And I think that, you'll hear me talk a lot about aces and then number ones. Now, I'm not saying Quantrill's, and he's certainly not an ace. And I will tell you that on some teams, because they don't have superior number ones, he could be that pitcher. He's that kind of guy. People don't know who he is, but he can pitch. He's not the guy that went out there yesterday. Whatever the hell the guy's name is. His uncle is the guy on MLB Network. What the hell's the guy's name? Pitch for the Brewers. Whatever. Anyway, he's not that guy. He's way better. And DeSclafani, I like DeSclafani, but I don't like him. I don't like him. And what I mean by that is he's come up with a pitch that has made him pretty good. I mean, I think it's when I was looking at it, it's a cutter. It's either a cutter or a split finger. I can't remember. It's one of those two pitches, and I call them rare pitches because there's not many people that throw that stuff anymore. And then when they do throw it, they get hit because they don't throw it very well. But that's one of the pitches he's good at. And the issue that I think with DeSclafani is now it's been a little while since he's played there. He was a Cincinnati Red, and the Cincinnati Reds interleague games are with the Cleveland, or at that time Indians, now Guardians. He's pitched against them over and over and over and over and over. I mean, this is not like something that they haven't seen. So I think preparedness wise, I think that they're going to be in pretty good shape with that game. I'm a little bit surprised at how offensively San Francisco has played. I was expecting San Francisco to be a little bit more like Arizona, to be honest. Not that bad as Arizona is, but I expected them to be in the bottom. Well, they're not in the bottom. They're actually. Let me get my other screenshot up. San Francisco is actually now. Is this the right one? Yeah. San Francisco is top half, middle right now, and I expected them to be in the bottom, and they're certainly not there. Of course, let's say the same thing about Cleveland. I mean, you would have thought they'd be on the bottom, and shit, they're number one. So as it turns out, we got two offensive teams facing pretty decent pitchers. It's a matter of which pitcher throws their better stuff, and I don't know. I can't tell you which one's going to work out that way, which one's not. I just know that the Guardians have seen DeSclafani a lot. And he's not going to surprise them. He's just going to have to outpitch him. And he pitched pretty well his last time out. And you know how I feel about that, especially in the first three games. I think he's going to pitch at least average or below today. And if you're telling me he's going to pitch average or below today, I'll take the other side. But that doesn't mean that that's the right thing. I just I think pitching wise, that's kind of where I feel with him. And he's a great pitcher. I mean, he's just not that guy. I think Quantrill's better.
In hockey today, pass on Detroit Rangers. Pittsburgh, Boston. Boston opened at 125, now 131. Guys, this is a 12:35 start. My good friend, my accountant, Scott, knows about the early Saturday morning or early afternoon Bruins. It used to be an automatic auto fade. This team is banged up right now. They're missing a lot of key guys. So if you're going to tiptoe into the Bruins, I'm assuming Ullmark will be in net. Swayman left injured. Got hit in the head with a puck and was dazed. They finished the period, but he came out after that. So my assumption is Ullmark. But just be careful. If you're going in expecting the Bruins of 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, you're not going to get that. So the actual values on the Pittsburgh, but the Bruins are leaking oil right now. Minnesota, St. Louis. Minnesota opens up minus 110, now 114. I'm going to just tell you this, guys. The Wild, as short dogs or short favorites at home, have killed us all year. That's the side to play. The Blues will lull you to sleep in the 5 goals in the second period. I lean Wild. That means probably for you to take the Blues there. I'm going to skip the next game for now. Philly, Buffalo, no thanks. A lot of high spreads on these others. The game of the day is rotation number 4950. Carolina at Colorado. Carolina opened up at 135, now 127. Tough game. Again, value would be Carolina plus the 116. The Avs, the team to beat currently out west. I hate to go against them, especially at home. So it's kind of comical though that under over is at a flat 6, almost like baiting you to take the over there. And New Jersey, Seattle, nothing. Columbus, LA. The Kings have been on life support. Columbus is the perfect matchup. I'd take a look at regulation with the Kings. I'd take a look at the goal line, the puck line as well with the Kings tonight there. So what I'm going to do here is my gift to society on Easter weekend. Again, I'm feeling froggy, so hold on, bear with me here. Get this out of here. Yes, another freebie here at ECSI. Happy Easter. Happy Saturday. Let's try to get to the pay window today, as yesterday's Clippers +1 was a loss. So today's ECSI freebie of the day goes off at 4:05, rotation 37:38. Vegas at Edmonton. Knights on life support. Again, a must win, but must wins doesn't mean they will win. They lost earlier in the week for us, and then big dog plus 135, 138 at Calgary, and they showed up. We're going to say the Knights show up again. Rotation number 37, Vegas Knights plus 116 at Circa. Our freebie of the day. Closing thoughts, sir.
Closing thoughts are we talk about getting into these games and being creative and trying to figure out how to play them. I will say it this way so that it's as crystal clear as I can. Just because you have to be creative doesn't mean you have to be cute. Play the game the most straightforward way you possibly can that makes sense to how you want to wager your money. So sometimes you sit there and you get to these points and I got to a point where I was thinking about that Arizona game and the Mets game, and I'm like, Arizona can't hit the ball. Let me go look at their team totals. Okay, I get all that, but the team total line was I think it was 3.5. And you're supposed to bet under 3.5, and then you look at it and you go, well, shit, that under number is like minus 140 or minus 145 or 135 or whatever it was. And I thought, well, that's not a good play. And especially when you don't know how Carrasco is going to turn out. So think about things as best you can without getting cute, because when you get cute, you get smacked around a little bit. Just be straightforward with what you're doing. Be creative, but put it out there. And if you win, you win. And if you lose, you pick up the pieces and do it tomorrow.
I'm going to piggyback on that to close because I think you are spot on 100%. I always talk about this is on a Sunday, football Sunday, the 1:00 games, you got a bazillion games to choose from. Then the 4:00, the menu shrinks, you got 3 or 4. And then Sunday is the last game usually of the week, unless the West Coast Lakers or Clippers are playing. And usually what I say is the public runs to the window and plays the favorite and the over. When in doubt, you play the favorite and the over. What Scotty said is so true. I talk about peeling back the onions, okay, trying to go from the opening line to the I'm sorry, from the overnight line to the opening line, and then take a look at the under over. Then we take a look at the first five. We take a look at the team totals. We keep peeling back those onion layers. I'm going to go back to the championship game against Kansas and North Carolina. Okay. I thought Kansas was going to win. I can't play the minus 220. I didn't like the under over. I didn't like Kansas minus 4.5. I said I think they're going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won by 1, 2, or 3. So what did I do? I peeled back the layers and layers and layers, and I got Kansas team total over 77.5. Well, when they score 10 points in the last 10 minutes of the first half and only have 25 at the half, I'm dead man walking. And they did get to 72. They did win, but they didn't even cover the game. So the fact of the matter is sometimes when you try to get into the game and you keep peeling those layers back, as Scotty says, we're getting a little too cute. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to happen. And again, I had the game correctly handicapped. I had Kansas winning. I had the under. I also said verbally, it's on tape. Go back and check. I think Kansas wins. I wouldn't be surprised if they won by 3, 2, or 1, and that's exactly what happened. Yet, I'm holding a ticket. Kansas team total over 77.5. Great job as usual, Scotty. Anyone new listening, our followers, we can't thank you enough. And there's a lot of them here right now. Do us a favor. Run over to YouTube. Just do us that favor. Hit the subscribe button. Smash the like button. It's free. And if you do Twitch, we will be there real soon. Please go over there and do it again. It's at East Coast Sports Investors. Other than that, we want you to enjoy Easter weekend, okay? Let myself and Scotty sweat the small stuff. If you want to join our Discord channel, while it's still free, DM me, DM Scott, send us an email to eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com, and we'll get you in. Other than that, if you are wagering or investing today, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We'd like to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. For myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20MLB, we wish everyone a blessed day. Have a great day. Have some fun with these games. Don't get over your skis, okay? Myself and Scotty will see you in the morning. Send us your DMs with what you got in your Easter egg basket, and we will see you soon.